Reddit by Reddit recap. What's the hottest thing a lover has said to you? I was making out with this dude. I was straddling him while he was sitting in a chair. He put his fingertips on my stomach just on the inside of the hem of my shirt and whispered "may I?" in my ear. Damn near ripped my shirt off myself. God, you're so ducking sexy, then let out a huge moan. Hands down one of the hottest things ever. Made me feel confident and turned me on to know he was enjoying the feeling and sight. It's good to know the classics never go out of style. Last week my boyfriend and I were cuddling with me on top and he hugged me tight saying, "I'm never letting go." :3 It was so cute. Lol. Mine is weird. He was speaking in Swedish and I don't speak Swedish. The tone and the emotions were very clear. But somehow without understanding the actual words I was extremely turned on. Because it sounded super dirty without it feeling stupid. While fingering me, I started coming and he looked me in the eyes with the duck yeah kind of face and said, "There it is and on." OMG, my boyfriend does this and it kills me every time. Why do you feel so perfect in my arms as he pulled me in closer? My heart just melted. Or when he speaks Italian in my ear as we have sex. He could literally talk about the washing up and it would sound so hot. Same with my boyfriend when it comes to French. What a beautiful language. Same with my boyfriend when he speaks Spanish. IDE. My boyfriend and I were messing around for the first time and my top was off and I was rubbing myself in front of him. He looked at me and said, "My name. You're my ducking fantasy." I still get shivers. I love it when they take your clothes off and just exclaim "oh my god," as if the sight of your naked body is enough to make them come. OMG, I totally agree, this is the best feeling ever. Got this several times with different men but it always makes me weak. One guy just undressed me, looked at me and went like, "Foo-uck OMG," and then he got super hard and was all over me. That was really hot and totally got me going. I felt like a ducking goddess. That was a real self-esteem boost. Another guy was really sweet. He just looked me in the eyes and then gazed at my body and just had this look of awesomeness and pure excitement and then just went, "OMG, I can't believe how beautiful you are." That was the sweetest thing ever and kind of made me emotional and fall pretty hard for him. I don't even look like a model or anything, but I think the more you like someone the more beautiful you see them. Oh, duck is a good one too. My boyfriend says this every time he sees my butt and I swear I just feel so happy knowing that he's my butt's #1 fan. My boyfriend does that all the time. One time I fell asleep on his bed in just a red lacy thong and I woke up just in time to hear him walk in and whisper "oh my god" as he saw me. We didn't leave the bed for a while after that. My husband will come up behind me when I'm doing something like washing dishes. Wrap his arms around my waist and nuzzle my neck and say "that ass is mine tonight" with that sexy voice of his, then grab my butt. 10 years later. We still got the heat. My fiancé does this. Except he always looks at the dog and says, "Dog's name. Your mama sure does have the finest ass." And then jokingly after sex, he'll say the line from Forrest Gump, also to our dog. "Dog's name. Your mama sure do care about your schooling." It's a joke that gets a smile or a giggle from me every time. Edit. If he reads this thread, he's going to immediately know this is my account. Or come for me. I did. Also, are you going to come for me? Look at me while you come. Pretty hot when a girl says that too. Happens almost instantaneously after lol. Huh? Come for me. Say no more fam. When they look at your naked body for a quick moment and they stare in awe. And then realize that they're super lucky to have you. Then quickly retort to heavy foreplay and amazing sex. He saw the way my body was reacting and said, yeah. Rock those duckin' hips. Hottest thing ever said to me. Hands down. My significant other gets very excited about this too. Says there's nothing sexier than watching my hips rock back and forth. We were snuggling in the dark. Post-coitus. And he was feeling my face with his hands and, half asleep, whispered, "Even if I was a blind man, I could tell how beautiful you are. Stode I learn it gets me shivery. Always will. Oh wow. This is so damn smooth. Using this I love my wife's face. An old hookup of mine used to put me off kilter by randomly inserting anything for UM's last name into our conversation. And I could feel the tingles going up and down my spine. I'm at the sex store. You want anything? Why don't we make this a permanent thing? While pulling a ring out of his pocket. Best feeling ever. This is the most slick proposal I've ever heard. As someone who isn't really fussed about marriage, I'd say yes to this. Agree, would definitely say yes to that one. Sounds like they're both lucky. I need you like air. I think we f'd all weekend lol after he said that to me. Thank you, sir. The fuck. You are the first person getting me hard without even touching. Didn't know that's possible with me. When I asked him how, I didn't even realize I was doing anything. He just said, I don't know. The way you talk, the way you look, everything. Since the first date, he's the first guy in my almost 23 years that makes me feel attractive. And that I'm so ducking beautiful even without makeup. And some other stuff. Shit, I think I just realized how hard I fell for him. I cleaned the house and mowed the yard. Don't worry. I did the dishes and got the laundry started. Focus on your stuff today. Dinner will be served soon. Get some rest till then. I also poured a glass of your favorite wine and preheat the heat blanket. Help, I'm wet. Getting hot and heavy when he pulled away and says I need to duck you right now. My boyfriend came back from work once and I had really missed him for some reason. I greeted him with a kiss which led to a makeout session. He then stepped back, looked at me on the bed and said I'm sorry but I have to duck you now, it was so hot. Judged you can what I love this. He slid inside and said like a glove in a sexy deep voice, it was so hot. I dream about this kitten. Yes you surely do. Or after I say come inside me and they say you want me to come inside you? IDKY, hearing it back just makes me up. Yes, I love when he asks if I want him to come inside me. Yes please. I say that and he gets scared. Replies, babe are you sure? He's so sweet, see? I think you're everything I am looking for. I never get tired of your ass. I am proud to have that ass in my bed. America's ass. Our ass. We had just made out passionately and I was wearing his shirt. I love pockets. You know. He said suddenly. I looked confused and then he put his hand in the pocket of his shirt I was wearing and started palming me. That was hot. We were making out. He had his hand on my neck. He pulled back. Hand still on my neck and looked me up and down. He smiled and said I am going to make you come hard. I was naked in seconds and he did not disappoint. That orgasm had my teeth chattering. My boyfriend and I were laying in bed. I had fallen asleep. He touched my face which caused me to wake up. I kept my eyes closed though. He whispered while touching my face, you're so beautiful. He was quiet for a few minutes and then said gorgeous. I wish you could see it. I wish you'd believe me when I tell you. And I was like holy ducking shit, I love this boy. This happened last week. After a date. Sexual tension had been off the chain. But we were waiting because I'd recently gotten out of a relationship. We were making out in my hallway like a couple of teenagers. He pinned my hands above my head and used his other hand to touch me everywhere. Super slowly. And whispered in my ear. How vulnerable do you feel right now? And anytime a small moan would escape my lips, he'd respond and whisper, yeah? Tell me. Insanely hot. Goddamn. Durham. This almost makes me want to be single for a minute. Almost. Instead I'll need to act it out, W the hubs. Semicolon. Is it Ross? When I was riding a guy once and I asked him if it felt good. How did it feel? And he was struggling to speak. Panting between every word as he tried to tell me how it was so good. But then I liked it when he would just tease me and pull out. Telling me he wasn't going to duck me anymore. and I would beg him for it. Or telling me this is my kitten. I'm the only one who can duck it and calm in it. I love feeling owned in bed. Me and the BF were making out after a lovely date and I whispered in his ear I'm falling for him. He then took my face in his hands and said I'm already in love with you. I just melted right there. And I'm crying. I'm not crying. You're crying. OMG, I have chills, that's so perfect. Laying in bed on a Sunday night. After a great weekend. He said I wish it were acceptable for me to call my boss and ask for a week off because I found someone I want to make a weirdo nest with. Al said with such heat and with a look of pure joyful amazement on his face. Whispering I love you in my ear during sex. Bonus points if he is smiling or has that closed eyes feels good face while saying it. I've been through some shitty stuff, so I'm not a fan of a lot of domination or possessive things like a lot of these comments are. But goddamn, if he is tender and sweet and gentle and whispers that in my ear, it gets me, man. It really gets me. Gives me shivers. Damn, I can't wait to get home from work now. My husband will say I love you so much during sex, but a little wickedly because he knows it's almost always a guaranteed instant cum. +1 great married sex. I approve. That kind of thing gets my MF goat. I am super not a fan of the male dom things here either. Best comment of the day. I had this friend who used to flirt with me for fun. There was no actual feelings or anything, so I never took it seriously. I had gotten pretty comfortable with him being flirty, but one day I let my guard down. I was waiting in the living room for him and our group of friends, and suddenly he burst through the door alone, instantly locking eyes with me as he approached rapidly. This startled me, and I backed away, but he kept trucking onward until suddenly my back was on the wall and his chest was against mine. My stomach fluttered, and my knees went weak. He whispered something in my ear and Jesus Christ, the floodgates opened. I don't even remember what he said, because I was so overwhelmed. Our friends came in right after, and he backed away, and made a joke or something. I honestly don't remember shit else that happened other than me quaking with hormones and struggling to keep a lewd smile off my face. That entire day I was ready to fucking pounce until I got home and figured myself out, lmao.